How you going, guys? So I've got my new phone and gimbal and tripod on here. This is just a really cheap tripod, and this is a DJI. What the hell they call it? Man, brain fart. Osmo. Osmo DJI Mobile 3 gimbal. God, I think that's what it's called. And my new phone, which is a Xiaomi Redmi Note 8 Pro. So it doesn't matter anyway, but so I've got this set up so it should, if I hold my hand up, it should start filming me, hopefully. It was working fine inside. I've been playing around with it a while. There it goes, because it thinks I'm holding my hand up. So if I walk around, it'll track me and film me at the same time, which is pretty cool. I'd like to be able to try and use this if I can when I'm working around a car. It might be too much, I don't know, because it moves quite a lot when you move your head. Would actually be nice. I've been playing around with it, but it should be nice if you could actually draw it. I don't know if you can see that. So it's got like a little green thing around me. Hopefully you can see that from this phone onto there. Be nice if you could actually draw yourself a decent sized box, so it only moves once you sort of moving outside that. But it's pretty cool. Like, I can walk all the way around here and it'll follow me until I get to about there, and then it can't go any further. But then I can go all the way around here. Depending on the light, it might lose you sometimes if there's a lot of background light or something, like when it's daytime and you go into a shadow. But that's a big range of movement. Like, that's not quite 360 degrees, but it's like, it must be like 240 or 260 or something like that. It's a fair way around. That's a long way around. It can track my head. That's pretty cool. I think if you were working on a specific area, you wouldn't worry about the tracking. You just set it up to unlock. And then what this is using, it's actually using an app for the gimbal on the phone. So, like, instead of using your normal camera app, what do you call it? It's using the app for the actual gimbal itself instead of the one for the phone. But that's pretty cool. And I've actually been playing around with another app which I've seen on a video, which is, I'll have to look it up actually. If I go in here, I'll stop this filming. And if I actually hit there's a trigger on the front, stop filming. Disable. Stop it. Yeah, if I hit that trigger on the front twice, it'll go back to its central position, home. And this is like a motion control. You can set this up. I've got this on the fastest it'll move. And you can set it up like in a medium and a slow. Same with the zoom. So depending on what you've got on your front camera or your back camera, you got more zoom. All those sorts of things. You can. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool gimbal. Still bloody recording, am I? Am too. So you can change your, what do you want to call it, your resolution, depending on the camera side. We'll change it to the other side. So if I go to here, see, now I can change my my frame rate, all those sorts of things. You can change heaps of stuff in this app. All sorts of things, but yeah, it's like there's quite a lot to play around with it. If I actually get out of this, if I can get out of this app, I'll show you this other app that I downloaded. So it's this one here, actually. Hold on. Yeah. So it's this one here. It's Protake. Now you've actually got to pay for this app to use it, and it's not terribly cheap. But I downloaded it and paid for it for a year. I think it's like 20 something bucks to use it for a year, but it's actually really like you can control your white balance and everything. It's like a full-on pro app. I've seen this chick use it. I'll try and see if I can. I'll put a link to her channel on it. But she's like a really tricked out, like she does a heap of stuff, and she uses this same gimbal. She's got quite a few of them, but she uses this gimbal a lot with I can't remember if it's an iPhone or a Samsung. And with the iPhone and Samsung, you can actually get special cases. You can actually put proper cinematic lenses on your phones. But this app here, here we go. So this app here, you can change all your focal range and all sorts of stuff. You can change all your white balance really easy. If you really know what you're doing, you can go on and you can change a whole heap of stuff, or you can just leave it on auto. But yeah, like it's really, you can do heaps. You can do all your slow-mo, and depending on the what your phone's capable of doing, like it'll really do some high-end stuff. I'd actually like to have a play with that, because I tried it on my old phone, but like I was very limited, because it just the camera set up on it's not that great. But this one's heaps better. It's got heaps more grunt than the camera, because I think it's 64 megapixel, and it'll do like 4K. My old phone will do 4K, but this app won't let me do 4K, where it will on this phone. So it'd be cool to have a decent play with it and just see what that footage works out like too. So I want to try and get the best footage I can for you guys when I'm filming. So I thought I'd just do a bit of a show around it, and what I'll do is I'll put some of this footage when I was playing around with the gimbal, walking around, so I can show you what it's like. I might just do a little bit of test footage here, playing around with this. I might have a play and just knock this dint out and just use that to film it. So yeah, I'm quite impressed so far. The more I use it, obviously, the better I get with it and figure out all its little tricks. Because like I've said, like I've only had it, I don't know, since about 2 or 3 o'clock today. So it's a nice little piece of kit. That was about 200 bucks. Kiwi, so American or Canadian, you're probably looking, I don't know, sort of 150 to 100 bucks, depending on where you are. But yeah, like I just bought a cheap little tripod in the meantime. Like I want to get a real good one, but the finances didn't let me. But that'll serve my purpose for a while until I can get a really good one. And then I've also got a little one here somewhere, wherever it is. It might be inside still. But anyway, I'll stop crapping on here and I'll have a wee play with that, filming me over there, and I'll try it while I'm tracking and just see how I get on. Alright, cheers. Righty, so I'm now using phone on the gimbal, and I've also got over here, I've got my other phone set up. So I'm going to have a wee play here, and just, I don't know if this is going to work, because it's probably alright if it's distance, but if I have to come down here so you can see me. But anyway, that's how the phone will capture it. It's a bit disjointed. I'll turn off the tracking, I think. Might have to stop it. try that instead. Alrighty, so I've turned that off. But anyway, it'll be interesting to see, compare the two bits of footage to see what's sort of cleaner and clearer. Anyway, I'll try and knock this little bit of a dint out in here. See if I can get this knocked out. Just do a little test footage. I probably could use the gesture thing now, but who knows. Probably rocking them down here like this. So I might just flick it back on again. Just have a play. Alright, so that's filming again. So let's see what this wonky thing does. That gone read. It's kind of weird, I reckon. Have a look at that footage when I'm finished. Use that little hammer. Stop tracking me, is it? No. It'll be alright when you're... Anyway, I only really tested the footage here. So I actually started tracking me again. I don't really test the footage here. I've knocked the worst of it out. I'll have another play with that tomorrow. But yeah, I just wanted to do a little bit of extra footage and just see how it works and see how disjointed it is. Come back. Come back, Jack. Come back. It's kind of handy when you're doing that though, because you can... You know, you can come back and stand up and move around and talk and whatever. Whereas with this phone here, I've got to go, oh, there I am. But anyway, who's watching me? All good, guys. Right, we'll leave it at that. Before I have a heart attack. Right, so I'm just going to do one more little test. So that is working. That's pretty cool. So I'm going to come over here and see if it keeps tracking me as I walk away. Find me. Find me or did it lose me? Oh, it lost me. Yeah. Just turn that off.